have another amazing guest for you guys.
Yes,
I know. We have been packing on guests. Yes.
I feel like a veteran guest.
Yes,
So.
you are.
Oh, mama.
No, but you're part of the Migas.
I am.
group.
Yeah, you are part of the Migas
She's
team.
design and decor.
Yeah.
Right.
Migas
Right.
Podcast, event coordinator.
Migas
Yes.
team.
So we have Miss Carolyn here, and if you guys don't know, because you've been living under a rock, she is Cindy's sister.
She's my younger sister. This
Yeah.
is my little doll that apparently I asked my mom for. I mean, and she told me to take care of her and always take care of her. But I think most of the time she does the taking care of me.
No, I feel like it's
mutual?
Yeah,
Okay.
it definitely is.
All right.
Aww.
I feel like I've stepped up
Thank you.
more because of the way that you take care of me.
Oh.
All right, let's not get
Okay,
I know,
let's not
right?
cry now.
We'll cry later. And
So,
welcome to also, we're in the month of love. So
Yes.
it's my love. And if you're watching us, you can see that we've got some B-Day vibes. Nora has her lace.
Yes.
Very delicate. So I love that because it's a great, like, you don't have to do red and pink
Yeah.
for Valentine's.
That's why I did
It's
this.
very romantic. Carolyn over here has her red and her beige. She got
I think I
the
did too
whole
much
fit.
makeup.
No, it looks good.
you look good,
Red
girl.
headband.
It's never too much. It's never too much. I know they say simplicity sometimes, but sometimes when it comes to fashion, you have to however
Go,
you feel.
exactly. Go
And then
with
I
what
just
you
had
feel.
this collegiate
love
thing,
that.
sweater, and then I just did
Very
a
cute.
red turtleneck on it. Very, very cute.
Do you want to hear a funny story about my sweater? This is me just going OD. Okay. So I was following, I forgot who I was following on Instagram, and she was wearing the sweater, and I was like, oh my God, that is so cute. And like to know it wasn't out yet. None of that was out. So that I literally Googled gray sweater with lace sleeves. And I like looked and went through, like
Every
I
single one.
stalked it. It was on a massive sale on like, I think it was like Nordstrom Rack or like Bloomingdale's or something. And I ordered it and I was like, I'm gonna shit if I have to order, if I have to pay for shipping. Like I need this sweater.
No, it's
And
such
when
a
it
classic.
came in, I'm like, so I've had this now for like 7 years.
Oh,
Love
wow.
that.
Like
I love when you
separate-
find
and
a
it's a
good
timeless
quality.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I was
Yes.
when I first saw it, I was like, I hope it doesn't pill, but I also have the shaver.
Yeah,
so
I
I'm
feel like lace
whatever.
never goes out of
Yeah.
style.
Right.
So-
It's timeless. At the end of the day, it's your style, and I feel like trends come and go.
Yes.
Keep
You know,
your shit.
the 90s are coming back.
Everything,
Why?
yeah,
Why?
everything comes back. And you just have to wear whatever's comfortable. Like people are like,
Yeah.
oh, like skinny jeans are out, and I'm like,
I
still
have my
I still rock my
I was
skinny
like, no, the fuck they're
jeans.
not.
And I was like, obviously now I have love like the mom jeans, just how they obviously the
Yes.
cut at the bottom.
Yeah, I think I have a pair of each kind of like year of the jeans. Like I have the 90s, I have the
A little
mom
bit of
fit,
everything.
the skinnies.
We're
So
allowed-
whatever you're-
we live through
Whatever
all
you're
of it.
comfortable
So we're allowed
in.
to
Exactly.
wear
And
Whatever
whatever
you're comfortable, because if you show, if you're comfortable in it, you're gonna show that you're comfortable in it, and it's gonna be
Right.
like,
Because
okay.
I've been there. I'm sure you
Yeah.
have when you wear like an uncomfortable outfit. You're like, you
Yeah.
just feel so
no.
small.
You feel more confident when you're comfortable. So
Yeah, you know, chest out, all that stuff.
I mean,
I mean, this is the confidence queen
Yeah.
here, and that's why I
Yes.
said I've learned. Yes, you are my younger sister, but I've learned so much confidence. Like, or you remind me of my confidence, like
Oh.
how to carry myself or whatever. And when it comes to fashion style, makeup
Yeah.
especially, I used to literally sit
Oh,
there
yeah,
and have her
and
do
your
my
hair,
wing
too.
eyeliner
The
and my
makeup, the
hair.
You literally just asked me, can you come in here?
I
We're still
know.
on this. I thought we got past this.
I know. I asked her,
No.
Yeah, no, we're still here. We're still here.
but welcome.
Thank you. I'm so happy and excited to be here with you guys today.
Are you?
I am.
Yeah.
What we're gonna be talking about.
Oh. Well, I guess we can, like you said, the syncing of the audio.
But
Okay. So yes, welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
and let's do our introduce what the topic is.
Yes.
You know,
Yes. So
And how
So
we
how-
got
and
here.
how, yeah,
I
and
need to
how
know
we
the
got
story.
here.
Yeah,
Yes.
the story behind it.
So Carolyn is a mother of two. If you don't know, she recently, her oldest daughter, aka my first niece ever, turned 13,
Mhm.
and that's Giselle, and she has Juliana, age 9, who turns 10 this year. It's crazy, like you have double-digit babies.
Oh my
And-
god, I wish we did too.
Yeah, and through constant conversation, and we're just bounce back ideas off of each other. She had sent me something. I think you saw it possibly. I think it was like on Instagram,
Yeah.
like questions to ask your children. And then so she sat there and she asked both Giselle and Juliana these questions. And then she wrote, and then I was like, oh my God, please let me know what their responses are. So she sent me back their responses. And then from there, you know, I think I remember you saying that you felt like this was a motherhood win for you.
But also before that, prior to that, remember, for Giselle's birthday, this girl that I went to high school with had reached out to me.
Yes.
And she asked me, like, give me like 3 parenting advice since you are on this path right now. She has 2 little ones. Obviously, I'm already past that path, so she kind of wants to know where I currently stand, you know, being a mom, and like what have I learned throughout this.
So through you sharing that,
that's
and I was like, oh my God, Aura, I was
something
just like, we need to have her on an episode to discuss motherhood wins, because toxic culture on social media will have you constantly saying F these kids. Yes, while that's realistic as well, it's not a constant attitude or a constant attitude that, at least me personally, I don't want to encourage that. Because of course I have my moments and I'm like, oh, F this, F that. But I don't want to be like that every single day.
Because I have a different perspective when it comes to, so I guess it all goes of who you follow. Most of mine are just very empowering, and you know.
No, yes, that. But I'm saying there's also like the joking culture of it.
Yeah,
like, you know, like it's funny, but I feel like some people take it to the extreme.
Yeah, and it ends up being like their entire personality.
And they see it like on Instagram, they're like, oh, it's okay to be that way.
Yeah.
And I personally don't agree with it.
Not all the time.
Yeah. Right. Because naturally, like
we're
freaking humans,
it's normal.
You're gonna snap.
Of course, yeah.
But
mine are mostly just talking about breaking that generational
right,
curse, which I don't even like that term too much, because to me it's more just patterns that we're trying to break more than the actual curses. But for me, that's where I have been on social media wise. Like, I don't see it at these kids. I try not to.
No, correct. Like I said, but I know that it's definitely out there.
Yeah.
And again, you can click on that video once, and because of the way the algorithm is working, then your whole explore page is about these funny, but truly it has those underlying messages of negativity.
So the thing is, I feel like, they're funny, but it is disrespectful. Like, there is that parenting now, like, because I feel like because of social media, it's been so easy for everybody who has an opinion could just go on there, and then it's like, oh, so and so said it. They have so many followers, they must be the expert, or like, it validates how I'm feeling because they have 10,000 followers, so obviously they're doing something right or whatever. But that level of disrespect to your children, imagine if your spouse is like this effing wife.
Yeah.
And I've seen some joking things like, oh, my wife is this, she's so extra, she's so, yeah, but you married her.
Right.
And those things your kids all come with different personalities, they all come with all different needs, all of these things. But I'm a firm believer that God made you their parent for a reason. Like, you know, you're the only person who can mold them and guide them. And our parents, especially us 3, well, you have to say parents.
We do.
Even like my parents coming from Morocco and you guys from DR, like that still, like, we're first generation over here, and they were just here surviving.
Exactly.
So surviving, and they didn't have as much information at their fingertips as we have. And it's information overload. And it's like, what was going on in your house, that was in your house. Unless you had the cheese man tell them, like, hello, son.
The only all the cheese man going on in our house.
Oh, yeah.
Well, too. Like, and like, everybody knew everything that happened. Like, it could be like the smallest thing. My mom's like, I just said and I'm like, oh my,
did you hear that?
Like, did you hear that? So got your period? Exactly. And it's like,
news traveled fast.
But they had that little thing, and then Facebook happened, and now it's like they know everything.
And what's that?
Yeah, and they're like, this everything. But they did not have access to as much as we do. Like, everybody wants to share everything about it. Like, my kid shit on the floor yesterday. Like, you know, like, why? You know that stays online forever.
Right.
So when your kid is 30 and that stays, your mom talks about when you sit on the floor. You know, and it's
Yeah,
not.
so with the shit that we talked about on here, we know it's on here for
Sorry, kids. But we've never said it in a way that we disrespect our kids.
Mm.
It's more like, this is what's happening, this is the season. But to your point, like, these are milestones that we're going through. And parenting, it's like, parenting's so hard. Yeah. But it's also so beautiful.
Of course.
And with the
That's
with the hard comes the beauty.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something I feel like a lot of people are not seeing that.
Yeah.
Because if you show that you're doing a great job, or like you're keeping certain things.
Oh, look at her, Miss Perfect.
Exactly.
She has everything together.
Exactly. But you're just putting that boundary and setting that you're not going to see things that I know my kids are uncomfortable with. I'm not sharing. I don't know you. I don't know you from a fucking hole in the wall, and you're not going to see that. But my sister's going to know.
That reminds me of like Big Little Feelings. I learned that with them to just, as far as like, because like somebody I guess commented with them, oh, we never see your children crying. We never see that. And that I learned to, I'll record a video of Caleb maybe crying, but that stays within like the family.
They want something that's relatable.
But I don't want to necessarily post him crying online, you know, and I'm sure people are probably like, oh, Caleb never cries. Because like, that's not, I don't need to share that, you know, about him.
Exactly.
Like, he's a child. Like, yes, he does cry. He does
Can you imagine you're having a mental breakdown? Like,
right, and someone is just there. Like,
the smallest, like, okay, my shoelace or whatever, my thing fell on the floor, and that to you, it's like the end of the world. Yeah. And someone's like, hold on, where I need to show my followers like that this is real. You want real? Then step out your fucking house. So get off your phone.
Word.
Why don't you sit with your kid who's having a real tantrum and be there and help them, versus looking for validation from a stranger that's online, that is putting this out there because that's what they want. That's the picture that they're putting out.
Then you're opening up Pandora's box for then the negative comments, and then you can't get mad because you were the one that put it out there, and then you gotta be ready to receive good and bad comments from, you know, your parenting style or whatever. Because again, you know, the judges of the gram.
I know, seriously. I'm sorry, Judge Judy and Judge Karen and Judge fucking Patricia.
But really quick to go back what you said, like when a child is having a tantrum, like to them that's like the end of their world. Recently, there's this mom. She's called the Birds Papaya on Instagram. So she has like a toddler, and she was saying to her husband that the toddler had dropped, I think it was like a lollipop or something in the car, and it was the end of the world. So she's like recorded her and sent it to the husband, or she was telling the husband what was going on. And the husband, I guess she wasn't expecting this response from her spouse. She was like, he said, well, imagine she doesn't have any stressors, any outside stressors like we do as adults. So for her, dropping that lollipop, that is her world. Yeah. That's the only thing. Like, she was so happy with it, and all of a sudden she drops it. Like, her joy is gone. Of course, she's gonna have a mental freaking breakdown, aka toddler tantrum. So again, just seeing it in that light was a huge shift for me, because like with us, like, you know, with our littles, like, oh come on, but again, we've already been through that. We understand that they have it. Yeah, that is their world. My crayon broke. My favorite crayon. You know, it's just like, but calm down. You don't need to cry. Like, just okay. Now I'm more, again, the awareness and conscious. Letting Kayla, like, all right, that made you sad. Oh my God, your crayon broke. Oh my God, that's crazy.
That's
you know,
nuts.
Again, relating emotionally, but again, that's daily work, and again, having that awareness and not feeding into the toxic culture.
We've prepared some questions for you.
Yes.
Because I Cindy did tell me, like, after you had this conversation, it was kind of like a light bulb, you know? And that always feels good.
Yeah, I really wanted to sit there and reflect on these questions and how I can deliver the message in my truest form. Like, I didn't want to just put whatever bullshit out there. I wanted to really put something that, you know, what I'm currently experiencing and how I can truly help her. Yeah. So it did make me reflect a lot. So that was nice.
So I'll start the first question. What are 2 scenarios where you've had to pivot your parenting style for each child and what they were experienced at that time? Okay. Because your kids are night and day, girl. Like,
they truly are. Oh my gosh. They really are. Okay, so let's see. With Giselle, I remember I used to always be so conscious of how she would dress and how her hair would be done. And if we're going out for like a family dinner or any kind of outing, and she would come out with an outfit, I'll be like, Giselle, change into something nicer. Do your hair this way. Do your hair that way. I would push her too much of how I wanted her to dress instead of letting her kind of just be her own person and dressing how she wants. So recently, I mean, in the last year or two, I kind of just let her do her own thing. And I noticed a difference in her confidence when it comes to dressing herself and just being comfortable in her own skin. Yeah. Because I feel like we always want our kids to look picture perfect. You know, we want them well dressed and hair done. When we don't really look at it, like let them be their person. You know, let them create their own confidence, pretty much. Because I'll talk about an example. Recently for Giselle's birthday, birthdays for me are a big deal. I always like to go above and beyond, decorating, and I want them to look their best and what they wear and whatnot, because that's how I am. So for her birthday, which just happened in January, she didn't want any crazy decorations, and that's the complete opposite of me. I'm like, okay, we're gonna keep it simple with just balloons and a cake. And then she just wanted to wear a t-shirt and tights. That's all. Me, of course, I'm always looking for like the fanciest dress and shoes and want my makeup done and hair, but that's not her. So I respected that and let her be her. Just you're comfortable in tights and a t-shirt, go for it. Wear that.
Did she have a blast?
Oh, she did. The best time.
You could
she
see
was
it.
Comfortable.
You could just see it. I was just like this is so different from everything that I just did, whatever, but she was herself.
Exactly.
And that's, as a parent, I feel like that's like our main goal, but then we let outside, things kind of like
get in. That's a beautiful motherhood win.
That's a super win.
It is. And it's also eliminates that stress leaving the house for her and myself, because now I'm not worried about what you look like. You're not worrying about what I think of what you look like. So it's like a nice get out the house moment for us, because you're out, you don't want to brush your hair today. You don't want to wear jeans and a nice top. You want to just be in sweats and a hoodie. Let's go.
And she's in her
it doesn't matter where.
Yes, like, she is very athletic.
She's a little bit of both. She's like a little girl. Like, she likes to put on a little bit of makeup, earrings, but she also likes her hoodies. She's big on hoodies. Aww. For her birthday, everybody.
The age thing to me.
Everybody that asked her what she wanted for her birthday, hoodie. Christmas hoodie. So I'm like, okay. You're in your hoodie season, no problem with that. So
now tell us about little Miss Juliana.
Juliana, the firecracker.
She is like my strong-willed.
That second child.
Oh,
that's my detective niece, right?
Yes. Oh my God. That girl is crazy. But let me tell you one thing about Juliana. She also is very, very, very sentimental, and she truly cares. Like, she'll be the one if I'm sick and comes to me and she's like, "Mommy, are you okay? You want a blanket? You want some water?" Where Giselle, I'm not saying Giselle doesn't care. Gisele's like in her own like, where Juliana's more attentive and wants to make sure you're good. So recently with her, I've noticed that, again, she's sentimental. So she has been really affected if I simply yell at her or tell her to do something in a rude way. She gets very upset about it.
Got it.
So that's so you though.
I know. She takes things very personal. There you go. By the way, I do take things very personal. That's just who I am, and that's who Julie. I think it's the Leo in us.
That's what I'm saying. Well, that video that's saying about Leos, it's like when you tell Leos that the world revolves around them, that they get upset. You really know exactly. And then she was like,
and that happened
when I told her that, I was like, "Yeah, Carolyn, you think the world revolves?"
I'm like, "What?" I got all offended. Like,
but then I find this funny reel that said the same exact shit, and she's like,
and then I laugh at it. Yeah. All right.
Sister shit.
Right, it is. So with Juliana, I noticed again, she was getting very upset and her mood would just change. So I'm like, okay, I needed to find out what Juliana's love language was, because how can I now make her feel better and not, have her feeling like this at home? Because it would be mostly at home. Like, she would just get upset about the simplest things. So I noticed what her love language was, paid attention to that. And it was quality time with me, as simple as that. Just quality time, touching, cuddling, or just, if she tells me something actually pay true
Giving her
attention,
your
like,
undivided attention.
and also, you know, those conversations with her back to back. And like when she would tell me something, truly listen and respond back to whatever it was that she was telling me. So yeah, so lately just I'll go in the bed with her at night, we'll lay there, we'll cuddle. She'll say, Mommy, come in the room with me, and I'll lay down with her. We'll read a book, or we'll talk about the most random things, tell stories to each other, whatever that is. So that's helped me with Juliana a lot for the past few months now, just showing her that extra love language. Because of course, we're all loving mothers. We hug our kids, kiss, but really getting involved and, you know, paying attention to what she really, paying attention to what she really likes. Like, I know she also likes when I lay on the couch with her and she wants to play with my hair. So I'll tell her, hey, go grab the brush, come play with my hair. Like, I know she enjoys things like that. So
if you know, you sat there and you customize and tailor like her love language, like this is and dedicating time to that is so beautiful. And with Juliana, I feel like, you know, because the kids go through their separation anxiety phases, but with Juliana,
she's more attached. She's always
and I remember saying that it's been a constant thing, because again, separation anxiety, I think it happens like at 18 months, they say, and then it goes all the way up to 8 years old, apparently. But with her, it's been a constant thing. Even she's excited to like sleep over my house and stuff like that, but when she starts to realize like, oh, my mom isn't here, she's like, but I miss my mom and this and that. And it's always, no matter where we are, if her mom's not there, she's like, I can see that she's not 100% like herself. But I'm just like, so you saying that as far as her love language being that, like I guess what's that specific love language? The physical touch. Like no, like needing your presence there, and that and the quality time.
Yeah, 100%.
I love that. You know,
but it's funny because she puts up front.
I can see. Spicy girl.
She's spicy and witty, but I love it because then she has a beautiful balance of both worlds, and you giving her God-given guide on this earth, she's gonna blossom into this beautiful, strong ass woman. You can't tell her shit. But she'll be proud of herself, like crying, you know, like she'll be emotionally intelligent and aware. That is such a powerful thing. Motherhood away.
Yes. It's so crazy that you say that, because I have noticed Oliver has really been like, if he hears me on the phone, like when Alberto picks him up and I'm coming home from work, I'm like, hi, Ollie, and he's like, like that. I'm like, what's his doing? He's just a little grumpy. And lately he has been very grumpy. But he'll come to me like when I'm making dinner, or like when he sees me doing something, he's like, can you come play with me? Or like, can you? And I'm like, okay, puppy, like, yeah, let me finish this.
Because it's like in the moment that you're actually busy.
And I'm like, okay. But I'm like the wheels are turning, the light bulb is going. I'm like, you know what? I made this whole area for him. I'm gonna sit with him and do the Legos that I know he likes. And he has been telling me, Mommy, I want to learn how to read. And I'm like, great. So we got the reading thing or whatever, and he gets so excited when he knows a word.
Yeah.
And you know the bath mat that says hi there?
Yeah.
He literally comes out and he goes, hi there. And I'm like,
hey, you're reading script.
No, but I told him, I was like, how do you know what that says? And he goes, I can read it. And I'm like, and I was like, did you tell him what that says? And he's like, I did not tell him what that says.
I love it. That's great.
And I'm like,
that's great.
Yeah.
And, you know, they ain't teaching the kids script.
Yeah.
And if you can read that,
he comes out of the bathroom and he's like, hi there. So I'm like, and he's like, I'm learning how to read. I'm learning. And I'm like, okay, so that's,
cute.
You know my sensitive Oliver.
I know. Shit. But even that, like let's say, because like when you're in the kitchen and he needs you, maybe just like, hey, do you want to help me in the kitchen? Because that's what it is with Caleb. Like lately, like the other day, he wanted to help and then he didn't. So we got like his little like tower shit. Calvin put it, and then he was like, nah, I don't want to help. And then he went to the corner and started crying, and it's because he wanted us to play with him with the Legos. So then I told Calvin, I was like, you got the kitchen. And then I literally just put my phone away, sat there with him. And then he was like, I don't know how to do it. He was just so like emotionally distraught and like confused. And I was like, are you hungry?
Yeah.
Because I was like, I think you need a snack.
Yeah.
Because you get to learn your child and your triggers and your Oh, you're right. Oh my God, you're right. Yeah, because I sat there with him and I just put a couple pieces of Legos together with him. and then he was good on his own.
But that's also so beautiful because it's a partner win. Like you're
Yeah.
all three of you are there, and
Yeah.
you're like, you got
Yeah,
this.
because I started
let me
seeing
go.
Coleman
Yeah.
getting like the frustrated with like,
Yeah.
please decide. He wants him to like figure things out, and then I'm like, wait, I think he needs this, and I was like, clearly he needs one of our attention.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll take this.
Yeah.
And then I was
I'll
like,
take one for the team. Why don't you just come here and cook? I got this. Honey, that's great.
But even so, like that's like even like the little like crafts and the little things, just like, and sometimes that's just 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's one thing, especially as like working moms, busy moms, you feel like you need to dedicate the whole day to your child.
No.
Sometimes it's literally 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And
And
not
that's
even
their
that.
attention span.
Yeah.
That's the craziest part because their attention span is
But
so
we
low.
feel again this pressure, like
We
oh,
have to
I
be
didn't
there for
spend
hours.
time with my kid. Like for instance, like most Wednesdays, my brother-in-law picks up Caleb after school. Like yesterday, for instance, it was a haircut day, so he took him, and then I'm there, kind of like, oh, I'm really not gonna see Caleb all day. But then that morning time that we spent together, I made sure I was like, let me, engage with him.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I'm not gonna see him all day until he comes home. And then when he came home, just giving him that extra hug or whatever, and it was already bedtime. But I had no guilt.
Yeah.
Because I was like, it was
You
the balance
that
time, and it was
time.
perfect because I was feeling like shit. On top of that, I was like, it worked out because I don't think I had the energy to dedicate
That
to give whatever love language Caleb needs today. I couldn't pour into his cup because my cup was empty.
You're like,
And that's
tapped
the
out,
thing.
kid.
And that in itself, I feel
Yeah,
like is a
that
motherhood
happens,
win. Like being able to create that balance and knowing that I can't pour into you today.
Yeah.
motherhood win.
Yes.
And be okay with it, because sometimes
be okay,
And not dwell on it. Like I didn't wake up this morning like
feeling
still
guilty.
thinking about it. I was like,
Because I think as moms we feel guilty so much when we don't have that time for them. But
Like
like you said, being aware that it's
Aware.
okay that
no, and
every
the
single day
attention
we're
span at that specific age, obviously, it becomes like obviously I know you gotta dedicate a little bit, maybe like 30 minutes to your girls now. But with us, we can still get away with those 5-10 minutes.
different.
You good?
Different
Pour it into
seasons
your cup.
of fun.
Okay, now I'm gonna go pour mine.
I am excited for the season that you're in.
I am
Like
too.
to truly see like what Alina and Ali and Zoe are gonna be into.
Mm-hmm.
Like what is it something that similar to stuff that I like because I have noticed Alina's getting really creative, but she all she wants me to do is sit there and watch her sing and dance. That's all she wants to do.
So maybe she
And
wants to be on stage
loves-
somewhere.
She does.
Right.
But the thing
Plays.
is, she does not want you to tell her what to do.
Mm.
And I'm like, great. So dance is out of the question because she's literally gonna be like, no,
Maybe
I'm gonna move to
find
my own beat.
like a place like a drama school.
Yeah, well,
Maybe
she
that.
needs that because she is like,
We could go on the hunt for it together.
Yeah, 'cause she wants to put
I want
Juliana
to
in
put
that,
something
like,
with Juliana
she
in
is,
summer.
she's so like she's funny.
Yeah,
Like Alina's
naturally.
funny, and she knows when she's being funny and makes you laugh, and she's like, where
I
did you get
love
that
that.
laugh from?
I
And
love
she
that.
knows things that she does, like when she sings, and she's like a straight performer, and
I
she doesn't
love
give a crap who's in the room. She's like,
That's great.
and
I feel like
Yeah.
that's what you need the most, that
Yeah.
confidence to be on stage. And that's what, same with Juliana, that's why I want to put her, because she has the
She's
confidence.
fearless.
Yeah.
Because there's plays going on in school now that she's still too young for, but Giselle could do it. And Giselle's like,
nah,
not for me, I'm
Yeah.
good. Juliana's like, I can't wait to do it next year. So she loves, and Juliana, again, with the confidence, like,
Yeah.
she's way up here.
Yeah, she is.
And that's because I learned from Giselle too, with the whole pushing what to wear, how you're
Yeah, but that also Juliana has been a fashionista.
Yeah, but Juliana, since she was little, she was like
She was like
3.
yeah.
Yeah. But I let her.
She
too,
came
and I
out, she
encouraged
came out the
her.
womb with a bow.
Yeah.
She actually did. Like,
Yeah.
the hospital had the
Yes.
fetus.
Oh, yeah. My girls got it too as a hat
Big ball,
that they made
yeah.
into a- yeah.
I was like, I low-key wanted one for Caleb, but obviously, I just wanted a bow.
Oh my god.
You're like, do you need a bigger for
Time to
me?
make that girl, girl.
Time to make that girl.
So, do you want me to ask the second question, or you want to ask?
I feel like you should ask this.
Yes.
Because
Oh, okay, yeah. I was like, wait,
I
what?
kinda
I was like,
knew
no,
you were-
I haven't read it. But yes,
Because
so
this is
I
something
know-
that you can piggyback.
I know, like, normally, like, on Mondays, you and I have, like, a catch-up thing. We call it Bochinche Mondays. And we just catch up, like, on all the family tea or whatever's going on. Bochinche Monday.
That is your Monday
Because that's how you look forward to Monday. Like, it's like, and I've been saying this, I look forward to Mondays because Mondays, Caleb's at school, Calvin's at work, like, I have time for me, and I just like, okay, I can work, and then I have time to sit there and have conversations. So she was catching me up on the trip to DR and everything, and you said, well, I guess I'll ask the question now because since you told me a little bit of it, but obviously I know you could dig in even deeper. So tell us more about your recent trip to DR, Dominican Republic, and the awakening you experienced.
All right. So, as you know, and Nora, I'm sure you've heard little pieces of it.
I had Bochinche Tuesday.
So then you're kind of are.
We should be like, oh, damn, who can I call up for Bochinche Wednesday?
So it was nice because I have my grandmother over there and my aunt. Most of our family are over there. Just for the people that are listening and don't really know.
Yeah, I feel like our parents are pretty much like the only ones here. Besides that, like my dad, some siblings that live in Florida, but that everyone is in DR. Cousins, extended family, everyone's there.
My mom had called me before I took this trip because this trip happened kind of from one day to the next. Like, oh, come to DR, come spend time with me and mommy, my grandmother. And I was like, okay, let's go. So I went ahead and booked the trip, and I was like, I took into consideration that quality time that was about to happen between me, my mother, and my grandma. But never did I think that I would, again, have that rude awakening, like that eye-opener, like, holy crap, like this family drama is so freaking intense, like of everything. And I soaked it all in. I sat there because unfortunately my mom and my grandmother didn't have the best mother and daughter relationship growing up. And it was because of the communication.
And the family dynamics, so you guys there or no, my mom is the oldest daughter. So that already I feel like comes with a lot. And Nora knows herself. I mean, I am the oldest daughter too, but I don't know if I've ever felt like what my mom has felt with her mom.
So just
me and your mom can have a whole conversation about her and her damn twin.
So we're just sitting there, having conversations, and I'm just really listening to what my grandmother's feeling, what my mother is feeling, and my aunt, who happened to be there as well, my mom's sister, who grew up, obviously, they all grew up together, was also, stating her opinions of how she felt with things. And the main thing I took back from all of this, it was communication. There was no communication with them growing up. Things would happen, and my grandmother wouldn't really necessarily push. One thing I'm pushing with my kids is that communication. Tell me everything. What's going on? Why are you feeling like this? That's something that my grandmother did not do with my mother, which is why she has all of this trauma.
And I remember I told you, I was like, she wasn't the matriarch that the family needed.
Exactly. And she did the best that she could with the information that she had.
Of course. I give her that grace for sure. But then it has trickled for so long, so many freaking decades.
Yeah.
Where through pretty much survival mode, in a sense, I feel like my mom learned to be the matriarch of our family and sit there whenever either of us are beefing or whatever. It's no, that's not how it used to be. She won't sit there and take a side.
Yeah.
Because she's learned the trauma.
Unfortunately, she's seen it, how taking sides, the negative effects of that. And pretty much teaching us, even though obviously she didn't have all the tools to give us as far as emotional communication, but just addressing it and bringing it up and not shying away from it, or sweeping under the rug, or suppressing it, because that's what they've done
back then. Nothing was really, even leaving this trip, my grandmother kept apologizing to me. She's like, oh, Carolyn, I'm so sorry that you had to witness all this drama. I'm like, Mama, this was necessary. We need to talk about these issues. This is why there is so much drama, because nothing was talked about back then. And I feel like it's very important to talk things out. So, that was the main thing that I took from there. And I'm like, I'm definitely going to continue doing what I'm doing back at home and pushing that communication with my girls, because I realized
say what you said as far as the relationship between,
So I had told Cindy, I'm like, wow, it also made me realize how much improvement it started with my grandmother's, my grandma and my mother's relationship has improved. With me and my mom didn't have the best relationship growing up, because your kids, you're in your rebel stage, or want to do what you want. And my mom was always a little bit on the stricter side, so it was hard to communicate things with her. So me and my mom, we have a good relationship now when it comes to communicating. I can tell her anything and we can talk for hours. Back then, I was very limited in what I told my mom, because I was scared of her. If I had a crush at what Giselle's age is now, to tell my mom that, freaking right. Well, what? But now Giselle I've built that communication with Giselle.
Love it.
And she was telling me she had crushes since like the second grade. Okay. Me back then with my mother, hell
no.
fucking
Yeah.
no, I would not fly. I could
Yeah.
Just so that I could.
Is that a child podcast?
Do you know? Your
I
sister?
know. I do hear you guys first, but you
Okay.
just-
You're like, can the guest?
Yeah, exactly. Can
You're
you guess?
allowed. You're allowed.
But so I just realized the difference, like all the growth that we've had throughout the generations. Like my
Yeah.
mother and my grandmother and mother's relationship was not the best because there was no communication. Then me and my mom, we have built that now, me as an adult, but back then I didn't have that. Now I already have that with Giselle. So I can only imagine now when she's an adult, how much stronger our bond will be.
Yeah. And then what
that
she
was really
brings
nice
to her.
see.
What she brings to her, yeah.
Yeah,
What she brings to her
family. Yeah.
exactly. Like how much we fixed throughout the years.
And I love it because you're living again what we're constantly hearing, like again the generational like you said, you don't like to call it generational curses, it's generational wealth. That's what you're creating. You're creating
Mental
generational, emotional,
Yes,
mental
exactly.
wealth, and that's so important. But beyond money,
Mhm.
because
I was gonna say that's even more important. The mental,
the confidence that you bring to yourself, that you're at, that's a skill. That's
Yes.
like that's
Yeah.
part of your personality trait. That's a characteristic.
Mhm.
You built that.
Exactly.
That happens with daily work, and the fact that you're already instilling that in your girls.
Mhm.
Because I feel like, yes, my mom instilled that in us, but it was that, like, why are you wearing that? That's what you're gonna wear. You look fat in this. You look fat in that. Like your hair like that. Did you do your hair? Your hair looks dry. Your ends. It was always those
Something.
that
Well, they always
negative
say
comment.
Parents are like your child's first bully.
Yeah.
And that's exactly
It's true.
how it went down with mommy. And I noticed that I was bringing that in a little with Giselle, which was what I talked about earlier. And I'm like, no, wait, I gotta stop this. We don't let her be who she is.
Yeah. No, because and at that age, I feel like that's when it begins. That
Mhm.
fresh age of 12, 13,
Mhm.
you're already going through
It's an awkward
puberty,
stage, learning about
you're
yourself.
feeling weird, you're trying to see like where you fit in, or if that's even important.
Yep.
So I love it. I love all the work that you're doing because I've been taking notes clearly for years, and now, before becoming a mom, and now I'm a mom, and I've definitely, again, taking notes and implementing them and pouring that into my own
And
relationship.
it's progress over perfection, because we're not going to be perfect parents as much as we want to, but as long as you're making some sort of progress, I think that's really important.
Absolutely.
And what works in your house is not going to work in somebody else's.
Exactly.
Because each kid is, and you even see it, your parenting is different for each kid.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I can completely 1000% relate to mommy's. My mom's still a bully, like till this day, and it's so funny because it's insane because she always has a comment about my hair, no matter what. She always has a comment about my hair, and to spite her, because I'm a petty bitch. Every time we talk, and I know my hair looks good, so I'm like, fuck
it
that.
does, girl.
And I literally go like this when she talks to me. I'm like, oh my god, I'm like, oh my god,
Good.
mom, and she goes, you need to do Botox in your hair. I was like, this is literally. I was like, this is literally Dominican conditioner that I go under the thing.
She sounded like a Dominican herself, because those are things that.
Oh, you need to do this. And why don't you get carrots? I was like, I don't need it. And she goes, oh, I did this. And I was like, Mom, you have no hair. I'm like, it's falling apart because you like to go get your hair dyed and relaxed and this and that all in the same fucking sitting. And I was like, no, sorry, I don't need any of that. And I do that shit to her all the time. She goes, I wish my hair grew. And I was like, me too. She can leave me alone.
But sometimes, unfortunately, it's that, and thankfully we have been receiving that education and those resources to sit there and not let their own insecurities affect us. Once again, that switch for me was that. Now, of course, you'll say her little comments, and I'm like, that's fine. I know I already expect them. Yeah, I'm already expecting them, but so I'm already expecting them, so I can know how to respond, how to receive it,
or if a response is warranted.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's why I was like, but I'm already. I wouldn't. It's not even being like on guard. It's just I'm prepared to receive the negativity, but not letting that affect me.
Yeah.
Like it used to in the past, or dwell on it. Like, damn, maybe she married.
Same.
And I know, again, yes, they mean well. Of course, they want the best for us, but
That's just a
you
delivery
could
of
just
it.
deliver a little bit different. You know, you want me to be, and that's sort of always my mom saying with me, you could be a little softer in your delivery. And it's funny because then on this trip, my sister to my mom, the way that my mom was like getting snappy with my grandma, she was like, "Oh, hello, Cindy."
Yes, I did. I'm like,
so she had to take some of her own
Yeah.
freaking medicine.
And I mean, she wasn't as snappy.
Right, because like, no, yeah, I know.
But it was more the nag. I don't want to say you nag either too much at her, but it was just the simplest things. Like my grandmother went out the house with a water bottle that she's supposed to have filled up because she's supposed to be drinking a lot of water, and she only had it half filled up. And my mom's like, "Hey, mommy, but why don't you fill up the bottle all the way? Why are you coming out the house?" And it's just like, yeah, exactly, causing that stress on her. And my grandma's like, just cuts. He looks at me and just rolls her eyes like, oh my God, you know, because we already know how she is. She was nitpicking like the smallest things.
And that's what it is. The nitpicking for me is, I realized with her is a trigger for me. So it's just like, okay, I'm ready. She's gonna come over to my house. I'm ready for her to be nitpicking, saying this, saying,
nitpicking queen.
oh yeah, like, oh, you know, your house is clean today, like this and that. Oh, like, when did the ladies come? Just a couple days ago, because it still smells clean. Like, you know, she's every little thing, and maybe that's where Juliana and Caleb get their detailed as hell remembering photographic damn memory.
And that reminded me when you said the whole cleaning thing. There was one day that I like did a deep cleaning in the house when the girl in the school. Juliana comes in, and she goes, "Oh, did Ola come? Cleaning lady?" And I'm like, "No, that was all me." And Giselle just stormed there like, "Oh, yeah."
Yeah, no, it's my mom does not come here. My mom does not come here. Her presence triggers me a lot. And I'm working on this with my therapist. I always say like my mom birthed me, but she's not my mom. Yeah, like she's not. I never had a maternal like figure, or older sister or anything like that. So like, I always tell them like, no, she gave birth to me, but she's not my mom. And I don't have like an aunt. I don't have like anything because I can't stand my aunts because they're fucking toxic. My dad's side, they're just all like, oh, money, please. And I'm like, fuck. Like, there is none of that. So I always have to be the mom for my sisters. So like anything, literally anything, they come to me. Like wins, losses, anything, they come to me. And I'm like, where's my mom? Like, you know,
Yeah,
so I can
right,
have it. So I don't, if you guys have ever seen me walk with heels, I don't know how to. I look like Bambi because I never
but
had.
I guess we could, we're definitely sisters here because
I can't.
that, I don't think even
like
your mother teach you.
But like
me, I still don't know.
And it's crazy because, like, for example,
I learned from TV.
I will tell you though, honestly, and I tell this to Alberto all the time. Like my mother-in-law, that's always been like a mother figure to me now. Like, you know, Gladys that's my girl. Like, I'm like, this is my girl. Like, whatever. Whenever she comes around, like, if I go to their house, she has a bottle of wine for me. Or like when she comes here, she's like, Vino, like that, and we just sit and talk. And she never judges, is always like, you know, Lolita, you're so great. And I'm like, I just need that little hype woman.
Yeah,
like, why not?
we all need our hype woman.
But like, I see her relationship with her daughter, and like, I'm gonna be clear. I'm gonna be candid as hell. I'm jealous as fuck. Like I'm so like jealous of it, but it's not like an envious. It's more like I wish I had that.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
because
well,
you know
be
that,
lucky.
you know
what?
that's what
Now
you're
you
missing.
can create that with
my
daughters.
girls. And like, I mean, you know, because I mean, everybody knows she's on the spectrum, and just how like her screaming and her nose and all of that is a trigger to me. And like, there's days I literally have to turn around and walk away because I'm like, why are you so fucking difficult? And then I try to give my mom grace, like maybe I was like that. And I'm like, no, I remember how I was. So I was never this difficult. And I'm like, why are you so difficult to me? Like, why are you so mean to me? And then I'm just like, she can't control it. Let me turn around. Like, I poured myself a nice glass of wine yesterday. She decided in her head that she was going to throw her lunchbox across the way. And it literally crashed into my wine glass, fell, like everything broke, spilled everywhere on top of mail, which were my W-2s. So now my fucking tax person's going to think I'm drunk. And I'm like, great. And
I was just trying to stand it.
I literally looked at her and I was like, get out of the kitchen because I'm going to lose it. And I'm like, with like a creepy smile.
What was her face?
And she was like, I'm sorry, mommy. And I'm like, that's okay. Just get out of the kitchen before I start cursing up a fucking storm. And I turn around, I'm like, fuck.
Well, not like not in front of her.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you because I know
I was
it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard.
And I'm like, my favorite glass broke. I only have one now. I was like, I wasted a giant glass of wine.
I was gonna say that was for the homies. Alina was like, the homies need some wine.
But it was so random. It was so random. I was like, no,
Yeah,
Alina,
I
give it
remember
to me.
those
And she's like,
hard
no, and threw it.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh God.
I'm
where is it?
very
And then-
proud of you
yeah.
for the response.
Yeah, and then Zoe comes in the room and she's like, mommy, chit. And I'm like, yo, don't get your chit. I was like,
the fridge is there.
Oh my
here's
God.
your chit.
Yeah.
I'm like trying to do my mom wins because I literally like played a scenario in my head that was so dark. I'm like, bah! Or like grab, like I'm like, nope, that was my mom.
Sometimes when things like that happen,
Yeah.
I just go into the room,
Yeah.
close the door, calm down.
Yeah,
Because I've had scenarios where,
yeah.
I want to,
And
I have
and
lost
that's a
it,
mom
but
win.
now I'm working on,
Yeah.
instead of freaking out, taking some time, literally, they already know, I'm going in that room, closing the door because I don't want to curse you out.
Yeah,
I don't want to yell. I don't want to get crazy. I don't want to lose my cool. Going in the room, cooling down, and then I'm coming back out.
yeah.
At the
And
same time,
that's what helps me.
and that's a mom win for you and a win for them because you're teaching them like it's fine. It's fine that something freaking triggers you.
It's
Go
okay.
figure out how to cope with it in a healthy way. If that means literally
helped us
leaving
so
the
much.
room, because I had to do that with Caleb, and even I spoke about this with my therapist, and she said that. And when she said it again, it's just the delivery or shifting the mindset or how it's said. She was like, "That's so important that he sees you doing that."
Yeah.
Oh,
And I didn't even think
it's not for
about
them
it that way.
because you're not doing it for them. You're doing well
For
in a way. Yeah, but
it's for both.
more.
When
Yeah,
you realize it's good
at
for
that
everybody.
moment, I'm just thinking about me right now.
Yeah.
I want to like calm down to then be the best mom I could be. For
Right,
them.
but
so then I think
it
about
works
them.
for them.
And it's so
because
funny because I'll leave the room like I don't know 10, 15 minutes, whatever the time I need. I come out and I'm like, all right, so where did we go? I come back like a little angel. They're just like, yeah, mom is freaking crazy.
So let's get to the third and final question.
Yes.
So we have some time.
Okay.
What are your top 3 practices you and your daughters do when you want to be heard and find a solution if you had like a current conflict or something? Like you're disagreeing and you're just like, okay.
All right.
This communication.
Well, definitely, obviously, communication. But what we do, I like to do is first, let's all sit down,
Mhm.
get comfy, really soak everything in, and figure out why you're feeling like this, figure out why I'm feeling like this, and try to meet in between and try to understand both sides.
Mm.
So, I mean, I'll put an example out there. Like Giselle recently asked me, when can she start dating? Okay?
Never.
13 years old.
But then
before she turned
But
13.
no, but I love when she asked you that. But at the same, I don't know when she initially asked you that. But when you were telling me this, you said, "Well, I kind of had a little boyfriend at that time too." And then when I thought about it, I was like, I remember I had a boyfriend for one day. One day when I was 13 years old, mind you, I was going to school all the way freaking downtown New York, so there was no way like my parents could really find out.
Yeah.
I mean, my dad didn't work too far from my school, but still, I was just like, I remember just holding hands like in the staircase, and then we had like one little peck on the thing. I literally broke up with him the next day because I was so scared to have a boyfriend.
Yeah.
I was like, somebody's gonna find out. Somebody's gonna find out.
We're gonna break up right now. So obviously, I don't want her just yet to start dating. I know she's 13, and I know she wants to because her friends.
That's
She sees it with her
friends
friends.
doing.
Exactly. So, I kind of just sat there and asked. I was like, okay, what would you do if you do have a boyfriend? What would you do with him? What are your intentions? And she's like, well, hold hands and I guess hug. We could talk. I'm like, then you guys can just be friends. You don't need to have a boyfriend to do all of that. She just, I guess, wants that
one person.
Yeah. I guess, whatever. She wants that title, I think, more than anything else. And I'm just like, okay, well, we just sat there and kind of, again, digested everything, all the details, and I think that's what's important. So kind of, again, we're going to agree to disagree. We didn't, and we left off with no kind of agreement in that conversation. The only thing that I really said was like, we could come back around to this in a few months or whatever. But then, you know, what's funny, because I had this conversation with Saida, our cousin in DR, because I love the way they are. I love the way that they were raised by their mom. That was like one of my top favorite aunts going to their house. Oh my God, the way that you just felt going into that house, always so loved, always so welcome.
Mother Goose.
Because, oh my gosh, I loved her.
Let's set her up so we can have her on the podcast.
I honestly,
she'll be a trip.
Knowing that I was coming in here, I wanted to kind of ask them more questions. But again, our time was limited. We were all over the place. But I remember bringing this up to them because they wanted to know like about the girls and whatnot. And then Saida brought up a good point. She's like, when you said that whole thing about coming back to it in a few months, how about if she wants to start dating, if she wants a boyfriend tomorrow, you gotta just kind of let them do what they want at that age. And that's kind of what happened. Like what she gave me an example with Saida and her mom. Saida had a boyfriend at that age. And she went right to her mother. Again, that communication was always there with them. Like she built that with her kids, and it's just such a beautiful thing. She went to her mom and told her about her first kiss. Like how did you use tongue? And how did you like it? This was our aunt asking Saida all these questions. Like made it fun. Like she just made the conversation fun for her.
They're already embarrassed.
And they made her, yes, exactly. They are.
Made her comfortable.
Made her comfortable and made it fun and just like relax. And it was just like, wow. So I took that information. I'm like, okay, Giselle's ready to start dating if she really wants to. At this point, I think I'm just gonna let her.
I think you just have to figure out whatever.
And Giselle, if you're listening to this, hold on, we're still gonna have the conversation.
Well, the thing is, like, it's about setting the boundaries.
Yeah.
You know, like what?
Yeah.
And especially like who's the little boy? Like who are his parents? What classes are you guys taking all the classes together?
Asking those.
Is he involved in any
extracurricular
activities? Like knowing that, because I remember that was a main thing for my mom, and it even came to our friends like growing up. And I would always be like, "Oh, you fucking nosy! Like, why do you need to know all this?" But it's so important to know, like, what freaking those shoes, like, what jungla, like, what jungle are these people coming from? You know, in a sense. And obviously, we're a very extreme fucking thing to say, or call it that way. But now it makes sense because, of course, like, oh, what town do they live in? Because obviously we're all raised differently, but like, it's important to know, or like I said, for you to allow that. I think you just have to figure out what boundaries you want to set, like, or what. Which is why I already. What more do you need to know to accept it? Like, even if you don't want to accept it, but like to be comfortable and accept it. But I would set. I think I'm already there to the point where I think I will be comfortable if she does want to start dating. Did she say anything else about this little boy? I'm about to do an investigation. You can even have Juliet. Nothing else. Now I do ask her frequently, but nothing new. And the same age. Yeah, the same age. They're in the same classes. He plays sports and they play soccer together.
It would just be nice, like, to see that, like, she's not hiding the person.
That's what I appreciate.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she's not hiding the person. And then if you kind of just see it, like, on the other side, like, it would be like they're together, but they're comfortable being in your house, around you, not sneaking around hiding things. Like, they're just kind of there, and then it's kind of like an extension. Like, I mean, who knows how long, but like, it's like, oh, you have like kind of like a son. It's like, you know, just kind of being there, and like, you know that, like, and him seeing the respect and how Josh is with his daughters, how you guys are, like, everything is like, this is a good girl from a good family that they know, and that's some people want to just be a part of that. You know, that's so true. I say that because she hasn't brought obviously any boys home, but she has brought some friends home. And they see how we are, and the friends go back and tell their mom. So then I got a message from one of Giselle's Giselle's friend's mom. Yes. Okay, you got that. Yes. Giselle's friend's mom messaged me. That's the way I heard of the person. And she's like, "Thank you so much for having, so and so over." She told me what a lovely home you guys have and how you guys are with each other. How much it reminds her of how we are. So it felt really good to hear that. Motherhood. Because we made her feel comfortable. Again, we all sat on the couch. We played games with her, kind of like how we would do it. Me, Giselle, Josh, and Juliana. So we kind of got her involved. And we, what do you want to eat? You want to eat pizza? Made her comfortable. So it was nice that she took that home with her. And I hope that anybody that comes to her home feels that way.
Feels that way.
Yeah,
and
that's
sit down
like
with them.
that's honestly my biggest goal, and it's funny because girls like the complete opposite. I'm like, no, I want this house filled with kids. Like,
I am the
I
same.
want this to be the safe zone.
Yes.
I'm like, when hurricanes happen, there's a safe zone. This is where they're
Well,
coming.
Josh, I just recently got a new car. He wanted to get me just with one row. I'm like, no, I need those 2 rows because when the only thing I'm thinking about, how about when Giselle's friends need a ride or gotta get a group of friends to go somewhere together. Like, And I always say, I'm like, I will take the kids and their friends. They're not going with anybody else unless it's like they go with you guys. Or like, I'll like that. I'm okay. I'm like that. I mean, Giselle, I'm okay. Yeah. But Giselle, see, I kind of built a little community where I am, where I know the parents, so I'm okay with certain ones.
Exactly.
Picking up Giselle, and I know who she's with, and
well, I'm gonna be a 3-row mom for the rest of my life. I'm like, I have my car has the 3 rows, and I'm like, I think maybe next I'll get the Expedition. And then girls like, what? And I'm like, I mean, I would love a Wagoneer, but that's just over $100,000. No, thank you.
All the big trucks, no matter what the brand is.
Yeah, so like right now,
the Honda Pilot is probably going to the same thing up there.
Yeah, and
I'm sure the Expedition is
it's up there.
Once you get all the bells and whistles, you pay 6 figures.
Yeah,
so you might as well get the money.
Okay, so we're just gonna do a quick little round robin, just super fun questions. What is your coffee order?
What is your go-to
coffee order? Wow, you know what's funny? I have not drank coffee in a while. Well, in DR, I did drink a lot of coffee because over there, that's just a culture. You're drinking coffee for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and a little snack. So I guess I'll go based off of what I was drinking over there, which was just black coffee, a little bit of milk, oat milk, almond milk, sugar, and that's it. I'm pretty basic, guys. Sorry.
Same.
No fun coffee orders over here.
Well, what about tea? I know
just
you've been
green,
into tea.
Again, just green tea with a little bit of honey, or just black. I have been into black tea too lately. So yeah, those black teas and green teas with a little bit of honey, and I'm good to go.
With the honey, do you use a metal spoon or a wooden spoon?
Oh wow, we're going that far into detail.
I just learned something new, so I want
okay.
to know.
Metal spoon.
So apparently, if you use the metal spoon, the honey loses its like antibacterial properties that it has. So that's why, like you see that they always have it in those wooden spoons. You're supposed to use the wooden thing. Well, part of your love basket is that it's a wooden thing there. So now pour your honey in there.
That's how I'm making my tea with that wooden spoon.
The one that you got me from Target, Alina keeps thinking it's a lollipop. So she keeps taking it from there. I'm like, what the hell do you have in your hand? I'm like, no, because there's glass on the top. I'm like, no. And she's like,
I can see how
I know exactly too. The one that you have in the little
heart. Yeah. So that's actually push it onto the wall. I'm like, don't touch.
Yeah. No, it's such a cute thing. Like again, I'm obsessed with the Target.
I just feel like that
they did such a good job with their Valentine's Day because I don't really recall last year Valentine's. I know it was like that, like the love sign, but I don't remember all these cutesy little.
But they had better pillows.
I guess I'm like so over pillows. Like I overdid it for Christmas, so I was like, I did get one.
Every season, this girl goes hard with something because what was it for Halloween? It was like
all the mugs.
She had to have every single mug. Now I remember for Christmas, she would send me almost every other day pillows. I'm like, how many pillows?
Yeah, but it's just like I already secured my stash of pillows.
No, for Halloween it's a mug a day.
A mug a day. I know. I need to.
So I need mugs and
A
pillows.
mug a day.
Mugs and pillows. You know where to go.
A mug a day keeps the ghouls away.
Keeps the dogs away.
You got the sin goods, home goods. You got the
sin goods.
I like that.
Home sense, sin sense.
I'm gonna seriously start calling her sin goods from now on.
That's like, I swear, when people go on my stories, I go, what I gotta buy now?
Yeah, seriously.
Before I even start showing.
You're like, here's my debit card.
Just take my money. Take my money.
Next question.
That was.
No, we have like surefire questions. No?
I don't have them on my.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, no, that's fine.
I'm like, brain fart.
What are your self-care non-negotiables?
Okay. My self-care is a little different. I mean, mine is literally just.
I mean, it's called
a nice good plate of food. Okay. Mm-hmm. Nice little setup table in the living room, sitting down and putting on a good show. Don't interrupt. It's quiet time. Don't bother me.
That I know because I'll be facing on her and I see her on the couch. I'm like, all right, bye.
Yes.
And I'm like, I'll call you later.
Exactly.
She's there sitting on her couch watching her show.
Yep. Okay. So, what would be your favorite meal to do that?
Pasta.
Pasta and lobster.
She's a pasta girl.
Pasta can go. I do like pasta. But no, pasta. Like my little penne vodka. You already know how crazy I am with penne vodka. I'll make my little meat sauce with the penne vodka. Have you ever never tried penne vodka with meat sauce?
No.
It's so good.
It's
delicious.
good.
And even adding
delicious.
Alfredo sauce to your meat sauce.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
That's
I saw that was a viral TikTok
Yeah.
thingy.
I just learned about that. Like
They do Alfredo sauce and red sauce with the thing,
yeah,
and they
they
bake it. Oh my
Mhm.
god! I'm like, what?
I saw it was now that I say it, we unfortunately it was like after a week they had catered Olive Garden, so they brought all the sauces and Calvin had mixed it. He was like, babe, you gotta try the red sauce with Alfredo. And I said, say less. I was like, damn, that's good. And then I'm mad because
That's like making your own
Costco,
meat sauce again.
true, yeah, but Costco had the Rouse Alfredo sauce for a while,
Mhm.
and I didn't freaking stock up on that
Wow,
shit.
that's funny
They
you
don't have
say
it
that
anymore.
because I was trying to look for the Rouse Alfredo.
Alfredo,
I did not see it.
I think the ShopRite's more in this area.
My
because up
ShopRite
there,
did
yeah,
not.
your ShopRite's
I'm in the campo.
she in the
Ain't
boondocks.
nothing over there. That's why I had to bring back my Dominican oregano.
That's what
You would not
no, and the
find that
ketchup.
over
She brought
there.
back Dominican ketchup. I was like,
Oh.
damn, I didn't think of that. That ketchup over there, I don't know what
I'm
it is.
telling
It's just
you.
like
Oh.
That's like
it's like whole tomatoes, just
Yes,
in there.
That's like
Exactly.
ketchup.
Yeah.
Not,
It's just sweeter, lighter.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Definitely
doesn't have
lighter.
the high fructose.
Well, no,
corn
yeah.
syrup.
Even just like
a
a-
hello, they're trying to kill us.
You gotta
I know
cook
Lita's
Coca-Cola.
making it in the back.
Yeah, for real. I'm mashing with her beef and tomatoes. Like bitches ain't wine.
For real.
Like, well, I'm making it. You're loving it.
Yeah, I was just gonna say something. I forgot what it was.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Carolyn.
Yeah,
for coming on.
anything you wanna tell us, share, like anything else?
Oh, one last question. And we have like 2 minutes. Great. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Through your journey, through like your personal growth, like just where do you see like what is who's Carolyn in 5 years?
Okay, so as you guys know or don't know, I am owner of Calcano Events. So my main goal is to eventually have a nice venue where it will be a one-stop shop where you can get all your party needs done and look nowhere else. Continue just being the best mom that I could be.
And continue those motherhood wins.
Motherhood wins.
I love it. Well, thank you for being here with us.
Thank you for having
We
me.
can follow you at Carolyn Mercedes, right?
Yes.
Your
and
personal and Calcano
Calcano
Events
Events.
on
We'll put
Instagram.
Everything on the details.
Yes.
So if you'd like to work with her, get on her calendar because
She gets
booked
booked
and busy.
booked and busy.
Booked and busy.
And as always, this podcast episode is sponsored by the Migas. By the Migas. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, share, follow all
All of
that
it.
jazz. We'll see you guys.
Bye bye.
Ciao, ciao. Mickey Mouse. Mwah.